Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, the first video on my new PC, and yeah, the first editing and rendering and everything. And bro, I'm like so excited. So, if you watched yesterday's video, just a little update. We spent quite some time configuring everything. Special big shout out to Defi, Alex, and as well as Zero, who helped me configuring the entire system literally from scratch, from like all the stuff in BIOS that I don't even know what it's named, right? Because I'm not a specialist, I'm just a user, I'm a gamer, I'm not like a PC expert. But we finally got everything running, and I had like my first 10-hour stream today without any issues. And I'm telling you, it is so weird to play PoE on literally like the highest graphic settings possible on like 300 FPS, which is obviously overkill. So I kept it down to 140 FPS because my monitor only has like 144 hertz or something like that, because this one is quite old. Anyways, amazing day. I had such a blast playing PoE and streaming today. Let's talk about PoE. What are the new things? What are we doing right now? So we are sticking with the Static Strike Shockwave setup, currently level 84 on the mbX Maroider. We have done 3 out of 4 labs, no cluster jewels, nothing crazy whatsoever. If you're wondering, the big circles here coming from the Nagahamu Flames Advance, we're basically adding 3 strength to every single node in the large radius. My gear is currently worth, I would say, about 50 chaos. I'm gonna go over the gear, what upgrades have I done. The biggest one, basically, the Crown of Ice. This is still the normal Alberons. You can get them for a chaos. They still get 80% strength, but we're on the way of like farming up the replica version. And the Crown of Ice has this new tag, increase, or at least the old tag, but the one that we need, increase in reductions to spell damage, also applied to tag damage 150% value. That means, for example, my amulet, I have 24 spell damage. That basically means it's somewhere like 37.56% attack damage or something like that. And that's also the reason why we now branch out to the Iron Will, so our strength damage bonus applies to spell damage as well. We're currently running 1155 strength. Good. For the map showcase, we're going to run like any yellow tier map. This is tier 8 map with increased crit multi. Doesn't really matter to me because I'm actually crit immune. I have 5 endurance charges, so I'm building this quite tanky. As I said, we're like started like or mid yellow tier maps now, and we have like 5.1k life. We have armor. We have like all the good things. So I would say map in and kind of put anything in here. Do you see how this build actually currently performs? And as I said, I'm having a blast. I'm really enjoying this. So basically, we're hitting with Static Strike. That gives us an aura, and these like sapping beams around us will basically trigger our Shockwave support. And you can see that over here, we currently have 4 charges. Later on, we're going to have 5 charges and a lower cooldown on top of that. So keep that in mind. So Blood Rage on, and now we're just gonna look out for the first monster. We hit it once, and then our shockwaves go on and basically just pretty much annihilate everything. Or, well, let's say not annihilate, but it's doing quite some damage. And if we need some extra damage, I do have a Battle Mage's Cry setup and Berserk, so for like Essence Monster, anything like that, it works like really, really nice. We also got like our first like whatever 30 or 40 Atlas completion. Means we do have the Nico Intoxication for our extra movement speed, damage, and I think maximum resistance. So we're currently running like somewhere like 77 all res or something. And with the Chieftain, we're gonna get, I hopefully, or I think so, quite comfortably 90 all res, thanks to the yeah, Chieftain. Your max fire resistance also counts for lightning and cold. So all we need to do is basically stack fire resistance, and I don't think that's going to be hard at all with the new jewels having up to 2 maximum resistance. So we're going to stack those with fire. We're probably going to get a Purity of Fire in the end, maybe a Ruby Flask, and all these kind of sources, and some max resonant trees. It shouldn't be too hard to gain to the 90% maximum resistance whatsoever. Damage-wise, obviously, could be a lot more, but for now, for the mapping aspect in this like low and higher tier and like yellow tier maps, basically, I'm having such a joy, you know? It's just like, you know, you press a button and stuff is exploding. We're running Herald of Ash, and one weird fact here, I did not really PUB anything too much, right? So If I'm having a feeling, for example, when I upgrade my 4-link to a 5-link, all I did was just like thinking like, yo, what would be nice? And I was like, yeah, maybe endurance charge or melee stun would be nice because it gives you more damage per endurance charges. I'm stacking endurance charges now anyways, as you see, 5 endurance charges as of right now. What I should have done is actually open PUB and just check, okay, what is the next best support gem and so on and so forth. But I'm running a very, very tanky setup, I would say, right? As I said, I have like 5k life already with this like low investment, as like 50 chaos or something. But honestly, I think the damage is fine. I think the tankiness is like really good, and it's gonna get a lot better at some point with the incoming investment, especially with the further upgrades, talking about like Astra Mantis and some other nice things. It's gonna just ramp up both the tankiness and the damage of the build, and I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, as you see, nothing too crazy besides like this whatever monster that is. So if there is like a bigger monster like this, Molten Shell, you know, you battle mages cry, you use your berserk, and then you just have like so much extra damage that even like tanky essence monster, let's talk about like yellow tier maps, right, are like not really a big problem. So let's get back our rage, we activate our berserk again, and boss should be dead. Good. Bossing damage always depends a little bit on how many stacks you have. So if you're constantly attacking all the shockwaves proc, so if I would attack now, I would have like 4 shockwaves going up instantly, and it's like insane burst damage. But if my shockwaves are just going to get released in the previous spec before the boss, then obviously I only have like 1 shockwave every 0.66 seconds. And based on the map modifiers, it could take a bit longer, but overall I think it is totally fine as of right now. So what have I done to the gear? As I said, like 50, 60 chaos investment for now. I got a Crown of Ice for 15 chaos to get this one mod. I got the shield for 15 chaos, which I think is insane. We have T1 strength, we have T1 life, we have physical damage reduction, we have reduced extra damage from critical strike. So this shield is just super nice to have. It's an okay base, but whatsoever. So I have 2 times... if I can find it here on the critical strike mastery and on the armor mastery, wherever this is, here on the endurance charge when you get hit, 30% crit strike reduction. Then we have on my crit mastery another 30%, makes it 60%, and with the shield we're basically crit immune. Then I'm not ailment immune, just because I don't see the reason of going purity of element since I'm having such an easy time. So we probably have to figure out another way, or we're just gonna scrap every resistance possible and basically get purity of elements. We're going to see about that. Then Leubovol, a very good ring for early on. We have lots of attributes. We have strength. We increased damage. We have all resistance. I even got one. No, actually, I didn't get one with percent strength, but that would be like the next kind of investment. It's just a couple chaos more. Nothing too crazy. This chest, I think, was like 2 chaos or 3 chaos. Just some life, some strength, resistance, corrupted. And you can still like benchcraft it for red, and my setup is static strike, shockwave, pulverize, fortify, and endurance charge melee stun, so not really a damage setup whatsoever. The gloves I think are actually insane. We have T1 life, mana leech, fizz damage attacks, which is kind of like whatever, mana regen, T1 fire res, and T1 strength. They used to have like lightning res, but I just went to my Harvard's crafting bench and put lightning res into fire res, because with the chieftain ascendancy nodes here, our modifiers to fire res is also applied to cold lightning at 50% of their value. So that means these gloves are actually having like 80 resistance basically, right? It's really, really nice, and I cannot remember how much I paid for them. I think it was like 20 chaos, and I said like, yeah, screw it, or was it 10 chaos? It was, I think, a really good snipe, and it fits perfectly for what I need right now. Belt, strength, life. You see the kind of like scheme of my items. Like it's always like life, strength, and whatever I need, whether it's some resistance, whether it's some stats, and so on and so forth. Because our strength is basically our damage, because the Brutus Lead Sprinkler giving us 4 to 7 fire damage to attacks with this weapon per 10 strength. Good. From the other setup, I'm running currently Herald of Ash, Vitality, and Precision. There's probably way better auras that I could use for now, and also Blood and Sand. Maybe I should go Determination or Purity of Element or maybe Anger or other auras, but I'm kind of like playing, you know, and I don't feel, hey, I really need to change something. I'm having a smooth curve from like going to finish the campaign into the low tier maps. Now I did like another 30 chaos investment into my gear, upgrading some rares. Now I'm having a good time in yellow maps. So we're gonna see it when we start going into high tier maps, what will be the next kind of upgrade that I should take, or maybe change my auras. But as of right now, I'm building this literally out of my mind. It's not like I'm doing any crazy POB work to see how everything should work together. Good. Cosmetic-wise, if you're wondering, this is the new Demonic Ghoul character effect. We have Shackled, gloves, boots, and helmet. We have the new Rotcham and wings from the Kirox Vault Pass, Carnage Shield, Colossus Sword with the Incinerator weapon effect. And yeah, that kind of like looks like super beefy. I kind of wait until my Maroider gets like a couple thousand strength basically, and all his chest is like flowing up, you know, he's like a very beefy boy. Good, let's quickly check out on the King's March what did happen here. Basically, I was upgrading as much as I can. We're currently going for Verisium ore to upgrade this, so we're currently at rank 6. We hired like a bunch of boys here, right? I'm usually always kicking out like the rank 2 and rank 3 ones, replace them at rank 4. Now I can get rank 5, so I'm kicking out the rank 4 and slowly building up my team basically, right? And the rest, basically, we have like some wheat, we have some corn, we have some whatever that was, we have some pumpkins, and here's some extra pumpkins. And don't forget, if you build those things, don't forget to check what you're gonna do here, right? Because I upgraded this from like 2 fields to like 4 fields. I put in the workers, and then I was like, why is there nothing growing? Because I just literally forgot to pick something here, right? And that was like, yeah, not the brightest thing to do. Other than that, we just like, you know, upgrade things, send our stuff to the mines. Basically, we're gonna get all the weed and stuff. I started to do the disenchant. I think the first disenchant is already ready to get, or we can disenchant more. I don't even know. I think can you do unique items? No, you can't. Basically, do we have any rare item? Yeah, we just throw that in. 27 minutes, 409. It's actually pretty bad. I'm wondering if I just throw that. I think that's what I'm gonna try literally after the video. Basically, just pick up a bunch of rare items and just throw them in. And overnight, when I go to bed, he should just like work and disenchant everything, and it should be fine. I actually stopped sending my ship just because I don't really want to lose my resources. And honestly, the best thing I've got so far, I think, was a Regal Orb, you know, so that's why I stopped basically doing the shipments. All I'm doing now is send my workers in, go mapping, get the resources, and try to upgrade my town to get, like, everything, you know, better workers, better buildings, better everything, and then basically upgrade my shipment too, and then, you know, when I have, like, excess resources to send them on the sale. But at the moment, I'm kind of focusing on getting this one here, where I need like 5,000 Tamagotchi dust, where I can establish mapping, so I can use all my like garbage maps that nobody needs for my mapping boys. Good. This is basically update number 1, you can say, for this character. Tomorrow, I definitely want to finish all the white tier maps. In the best case scenario, I want to finish all the yellow tier maps as well, and starting to do the first high tier maps. Next upgrades, obviously, Replica Alberon's Warpath. I think I saw a pair today for like 8 or 9 divines. We're going to see how this is going to develop. Iron Fortress is currently like 3 divines. Astra Mentis would be a very nice amulet. I need to check what kind of anoint we could take. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And yeah, here on the belt, cooldown recovery rate. This is something that lowers the cooldown of your Shockwave, giving you essentially more DPS. The only good and bad thing is this build doesn't really need attack speed, because the beam frequency cannot get scaled by attack speed, and the Shockwave hits are also scaled by cooldown recovery because they have an internal cooldown. So attack speed doesn't really do anything. So even though we're playing a strike skill, it hits very slow. So sometimes this can be annoying. So we definitely want to get some form of attack speed so that doesn't feel too clunky. Alright, boys. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.